Russian troops slam generals over incomprehensible battle that reportedly killed 300 in Donetsk. Russian troops have denounced an incomprehensible battle in Donetsk after apparently sustaining heavy losses during a week of intense fighting in the key eastern region of Ukraine. Moscow has been trying to break through Kyiv's defenses around the town of Pavlivka for at least the past 7 days, but it seems to have made little progress, with as many as 300 men killed in action, according to an open letter published on a prominent Russian military blog on Monday. The men of the 155th Brigade of the Russian Pacific Fleet Marines launched stinging criticism against a senior Russian official in a rare display of defiance, accusing authorities of hiding the number of casualties for fear of being held accountable. The letter, purportedly sent from the front lines to a regional Russian governor, came amid Moscow's shaky offensive in a region President Vladimir Putin claimed to have illegally annexed just over a month ago. Once again we were thrown into an incomprehensible battle by General Muradov and his brother-in-law, his countryman Akhmedov, so that Muradov could earn bonuses to make him look good in the eyes of Gerasimov, Russia's chief of the general staff, the men said in the memo sent to the governor of Primorsky Krai. As a result of the carefully planned offensive by the great commanders, we lost about 300 men, dead and wounded, with some MIA over the past 4 days. We lost 50% of our equipment. That's our brigade alone. The district command together with Akhmedov are hiding these facts and skewing the official casualty statistics for fear of being held accountable. They implored Governor Oleg Kozhemyako, for how long will such mediocrities as Muradov and Akhmedov be allowed to continue to plan the military actions just to keep up appearances and gain awards at the cost of so many people's lives? The blood keeps spilling. Russian military commentators have also criticized the army's approach in Donetsk. The situation in Pavlivka has been discussed at the highest level for several days, and the blood keeps spilling. Alexander Sladkov, a Russian military journalist working for all Russian state television and radio, said on Telegram. Troops say that there is a dilemma now. Exhausted units cannot be withdrawn, without fresh ones being brought in. There are no fresh units, and no possibility of withdrawal and replacement due to the constant firing. Russian military journalist Alexei Sukhankin also posted on Telegram. Why did we retreat from Pavlivka and have to recapture it now? Alexander Khodakovsky, a Russian-backed commander from the so-called Donetsk People's Republic, said in criticism of Moscow's tactical approach to the region. Khodakovsky said Russian troops had been using basements as defensive positions, which meant they had not seen a flanking movement by the Ukrainians. That's why quite a few Marines, including company commanders, were taken prisoner then. Not because they were weak in spirit, but because they were held hostage by their organization of defenses, Khodakovsky said, adding that Ukrainian reconnaissance troops had used high-rise buildings in nearby Vulder and cameras fixed to the top of mine shafts to guide artillery strikes. The defenders of Pavlivka will again be taken hostage. Supplies and rotations will be difficult. It will be impossible to move through Pavlivka, he said. CNN cannot verify how many soldiers signed the letter nor their ranks, but Governor Kozhemyako confirmed he had received a letter from the unit. We contacted our Marine commanders on the front lines. These are guys who have been in combat since the beginning of the operation, the governor said on Telegram. Kozhemyako added the combat commander had emphasized that the deaths of the Primorsky troops were considerably exaggerated. I also know at first hand that our fighters showed at Pavlivka, as well as during the whole special military operation, true heroism and unprecedented courage. We inflicted serious damage on the enemy. Kozhemyako said the complaint made by the soldiers had been sent to the military prosecutor's office. Russia's defense ministry issued a rare public response to criticism of the military operation in Donetsk, denying that its forces suffered high, pointless losses in people and equipment. Russia's losses in the area of Vulder and Pavlivka in the Donetsk region do not exceed 1% of the combat strength and 7% of the wounded, a significant part of whom have already returned to duty, the ministry claimed Monday, Russian state media agency TASS reported. Epicenter of the battle. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the fierce battle for Donetsk remains the epicenter of the biggest madness of the occupiers and refuted Kozhemyako's claims that Moscow's losses were not that big. They are dying in hundreds every day, Zelensky added. The ground in front of the Ukrainian positions is literally littered with the bodies of the occupiers. Noting that the governor was some 9,000 kilometers, around 5,500 miles, from the front lines, Zelensky said, "The governor probably can see better from there how many military men and in what way are being sent for slaughter, from his region. Or he was simply ordered to lie." Social media and drone videos in the past few days show numerous Russian tanks and other armored vehicles being struck around Pavlivka, which is about 50 kilometers southwest of Donetsk and has been on the front lines for several months. The Ukrainian military released footage showing 2 Russian T-72B tanks and 3 BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles struck by Ukrainian artillery and anti-tank systems, with senior officials referencing repelled attacks of intense shelling in the area.